Here with Wayne Wong, and we're at Nashoba Valley. Why don't you first tell us what brings you here?
Well, I've had this relationship with the owners of Nashoba Valley for over 40 years, and it's a great place to come back because people are so friendly. It's a whole social thing. It's not just the great skiing that we have here, but it's everybody that works here and has been working here forever. It's a big family, and I feel like I'm a part of the family.
How does what they're doing at the Big Ear event in down the road in Fenway Park compare to what you did as a freestyle pioneer?
Well, you know, it's really funny because back in the day, back in the early 70s when we started freestyle skiing, people looked at us and said, "Oh man, you guys are crazy. How do you do what you're doing?" And now some 40 years later, I'm looking at all these young park skiers and these big air kids, and I go, "God, you guys are crazy. How the heck do you guys do what you're doing?"
How is it different what they're doing from what you're doing?
Well, really, when you think about the evolution of our sport, you know, we were at an infancy as far as tricks would go and maneuvers that could be done on skis. The equipment has changed and evolved, which allows the athletes to perform more difficult, more intricate tricks, and they're taking it to the limit.
Now that 140-foot ramp in Fenway Park, would you go down it?
I maybe ski down it. I want to jump off of it. It looks very intimidating from what I've seen so far.
There are many more free skiers and crazy people today, and crazy in a good way, than there were when you were starting out. And so I'm guessing it's harder to stand apart. But you know, there's also more opportunities to shine now. How would your career be different if you were in your prime today?
Well, I think, you know, we were the first generation of skiers to push the limits as far as, you know, they had the alpine discipline, and that was really the focus in skiing. And we, as freestyle skiers back in the day, were able to show people that you just didn't have to be a racer to be great on the slopes, that you could be an average recreational skier, go out and have fun and be creative on the snow. So I think that is the biggest change, that there are venues now that allows the athletes to really showcase what they can do.
You were starting out, nobody wore helmets. Would you have skied differently if you were wearing a helmet? Well,
you know, perhaps, but back in the day when we first started skiing, nobody wore helmets, and it was kind of that whole free spirit thing about what skiing felt like, to get out in the fresh air and have the wind blow in your hair. And nobody really thought about the safety aspect of wearing a helmet. And I wholeheartedly agree that, you know, if the opportunity is there, you should wear a helmet.
Right, but would you have skied any differently if you had that extra bit of protection? Do you think you'd
maybe
take more risk?
I may have skied a little differently when I did my first somersault. Maybe I should have had a helmet when I attempted that.
I saw you skiing today. You look pretty good. How do you keep in shape?
Well, you know, skiing's been my passion. It's been my life for well over 60 years now, almost 60 years. And that's what I do. I mean, I'm a professional skier by trade. I love what I do, and every time I go out on the slope, I'm still exploring. I'm playing with my skis. I'm playing with my body movements to see if I can make things even better. And that's the challenge for me, but I love it.
Right. Freestyle skiing, is it more mental or more physical?
I think it's a combination of both, because there's this intimidation and fear to do some things, but you have to have the skill level to be able to accomplish what you're attempting to do.